But this is what happened in Oklahoma in that tragic shooting, and unfortunately everything came out of it, and that's what's resulted in charges being filed and everything. So we were just very uncomfortable with it. We requested Dave to do it. He did it. He's completed it. He's now state certified.
Fantastic. He's actually been on the force since '94?
Yes. Yeah.
As a reserve?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
This will help you. I think you were not allowing him to ride.
That is correct.
So
that is correct. Not until such time as he became state certified.
How long did it take him that long? Was it
Pardon?
6 months that he was out?
No, it wasn't even 6. I think it was like, well, let me think. When did I meet with him? It was probably about 5 months though. It's been about 5 months.
Completing all the modules.
But it
for
takes
the
time to
state.
get through. It's not something that you just complete overnight.
Usually
No,
when you go through, it usually takes over a year to get through all
That's
of
correct. That's
so
correct.
when you first start.
But we were fortunate enough where, because of his past experience and the number of years that he served, he was able to do a lot online. So he was able to do a lot get that information online, do some testing online. He had to do his firearms. Of course, he still had to qualify with his firearms as well, and also all these other duty gear, such as the taser. Recertifying the taser, recertifying in capstan, recertifying baton. He still had to do that as well. So, yeah.
I think that's great
So
that
he
he was
went
willing
through
to
the
do
effort
that.
and did
even.
it, so I
Good.
applaud him for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't see any other department heads out there, do you? Usually Laura's here. She had a whole list of things.
She had another meeting.
She had what?
She had another meeting.
Oh, okay. Guess I'll start with John.
I've only got one thing, and that has to do with our the demolition of the old high school building. That stretch of road between 5th Street and 6th Street is a one-way, and I know that everybody, not everybody, a lot of folks are curious about how it's going and those kind of things, but when you're going south on 5th Avenue Southeast, you do have to turn on 5th Street and come around the corner, go around the block to come back up there if you want to get next to the school. Try to pay attention to that if you would. I drove it myself a couple of times, and there were 2 people that just drove right through, straight on down. So until we change the directions, till we make it less than a one-way, or make it a two-way or whatever, if we ever do that, just be reminded of that.
That was probably done for school buses, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 Mike?
No, the Finance Committee's already given their report in a couple different pieces, so nothing else.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing tonight.
Bob?
Nothing.
Wow. Dustin? Nothing?
Yeah means no.
You have to read him.
Had that deer in the headlight look. Nothing tonight.
Mr. Grover?
Nope.
Nothing. Mr. Brown? Nothing?
Hey, good news. My bill last month was $350.
Is that because we have these short meetings?
Yeah, it's the lowest I think I've ever billed you. And Mike and I were walking in today, and Mike asked how are things going, and I said things are going really well. So I'm sure I just jinxed us, but that is a good sign. When my bills are low, that means things are humming along. So congratulations to you as a council and mayor and Al.
We also told them they couldn't call you anymore.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe
Really.
that's it.
Just kidding.
But anyway, things are going, from my perspective, really well, and I think that's the best sign that you're not making me do anything. So there you go.
Very good, thank you. Gina, do you have anything you would like to share?
I just want to talk about City Week. We have a lot of stuff going on. There are things on Facebook talking about the contest and the scavenger hunt and the calendar. It's also on our website. Wednesday, make sure you stop by if you're available from 9 to noon. Like some of the department heads were mentioning, they'll have some of their equipment down here for everyone to check out. So they'll have a lot of neat things for you guys to participate in.
9 to noon on Wednesday.
Yep.
Okay. Make a note of that. Would you like to speak next?
You bet. Very briefly, the ATV trail signs are up. There are a couple that are missing, and they've ordered them, so they're working with the street department to get those put up as they come in. But the ATV trails are effectively open, and we'll be posting that map. We are working on on a handout, if you will, or a list of what the rules and regulations are. I'll work with the newspapers to try and get those published, but good ideas from from Chief and the police department, and putting the regulations out there so when they get their permits, they can be aware of what our rules are. The burn ban is in effect. The mayor has not issued a proclamation yet. We do have 2 one-week periods this fall where there will be open burning for yard waste, tree limbs and what have you. One issue that did come up, and I'll point out, it is never okay to burn construction lumber or trash. I mean, that, even with the open burn, those are not authorized. So please pay attention to that. But until the burn ban is lifted, we won't look seriously at doing our first 1 week open burning. November 6th, the Community Foundation event in Cedar Falls. It's in your, under the council notes. If anybody's interested in participating in that, that's from 5 to 7 in Cedar Falls. And Living Roadways has their fall function from 8:30 to 3:30 on November 20th in Ames. So take a look at that. I know that the Living Roadways is an interesting program they put on each year, and I believe there's funding available if you go after it. I'm not, I haven't looked at it real closely yet, but pay attention to that if you have any interest there. And thank you to Gina and Katie, because the city's participation in City Week this week is really their doing, and I appreciate the work they've put in, and they've done a nice job with it.
Have you had very many in the scavenger hunt? Anybody turned it in yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Anything else? Am I missing anybody?
Oh, I
Nobody
just
hiding?
gonna ask, the council, the internet, it's like back in August, I think, is the last meeting on there. You know,
The video.
video.
We're having a challenge putting the video through YouTube, and it takes a little bit of effort to do it. I know Gina's been working on that, but with the other things that have come up, we are going to put them out there. We'll get them out there. We haven't forgotten about it or dropped that, but we will have them out there.
We're working on being able to get them on board docs with the actual meetings. When I went and spent that time at the board docs training, they showed me how to do that. However, the way we're recording now doesn't allow us to upload the whole entire video. It puts in pieces, and board docs needs the whole thing because it will actually go in and timestamp everything. So if someone just wants to hear your comment from tonight at the end of the meeting, they can click right on that and it will bring up your comment. So that's what we're working towards. We're working with Marty at Independence Light and Power.
Yeah, right.
So that's where we're headed, and that's kind of why there's a
Okay.
lacking of them on there.
Well, when we get our new website, that'll make a difference too, when we get it.
It will make some, but a lot of it is with how we're recording, and Marty's working on that, so.
Okay. And our website's supposed to be launched 22nd?
October 22nd is supposed to be the official launch day of the new city website. We've got a lot of ground to cover between now and then, just on our content that needs to be addressed, but that's the launch day.
Okay, sounds good. I want to thank all the department heads, because with this being City Government Week and us going out to talk to the school systems, they've all given me materials, information about their particular departments. I've done a lot of stuff looking on our website and things. I've learned more about the city this week than I have the last 2 years. But, so it's been fun. I have several more to do this week, but each one will be a little different. I know there's a lot of things going on. I went to see Houdini. The library has a lot of activities that they're doing, and they had a program this weekend on Sunday with Houdini, the history or story of his life and such, of which, again, is part of the hotel motel tax. So they have really utilized those dollars with a lot of different activities for all ages. I think they've done a great job. So I'm sure there's probably 20 more things I should be saying, but I'm not sure what they are. I don't have a note of them. So I will ask for a motion for adjournment. Motion by Vaughn.
Second.
Second by all the smiles, Grover. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Sorry, Carter,